Well, hello there, Kansas City. Stephen St. John here with a new episode of Hot Mic with SSJ.
Hot.
And it's been a minute. I've been busy. Back the fuck off. But let me tell you something. I'm going to start churning these things out. I'm going to start lifting my leg and shitting these things out for you, the viewer slash listener.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, you do. What's this here?
That's a microphone condom.
Right. Listen here.
Protect yourself.
We're here, and I'm gonna do these, and someone out there is gonna advertise, gonna sponsor this podcast. If you're interested, email me, StephenSt.John at 810WHB.com, or fuck it, email sales.
Send you a Snapchat.
Pick out someone. Do something.
Snap you.
Yeah. And you could sponsor this podcast. You'd love it.
Mail a postcard.
Okay.
To Union Broadcasting.
Here's what we're going to do. We got Todd Leabo here as my guest for this podcast. And we're going to talk. In the past, we've talked about almost everything. But right now, we are locked in to an absolute glory hole, as Jerry Jones would say it, of television watching. A glory hole of television watching right now. That's what I call it. It is. Because Taylor Sheridan, you talk about shitting out podcasts. This guy shits out TV shows like nobody's business. And I love all of them. I love Yellowstone. I love 1883, 1923. I love Landman. I love Lioness. I love Mayor of Kingstown. I love Tulsa King. All of them. Taylor Sheridan is a fucking genius. I know a lot of people don't like him. That's fine. I don't care. I don't know him. I can't tell you if I like him or not. I like his work. And so right now we're wrapped up in the latest season of Yellowstone, which is going to be the last season, I guess, of Yellowstone as we know it. Kevin Costner, if you haven't been watching, then I don't know why you're listening or watching this podcast, but he got killed off in the first episode, so there's no Kevin Costner. But the Kelly Riley, who plays Beth, and Cole Hauser, who plays Rip, they have officially agreed to have a spinoff. I don't know if it's going to continue to be Yellowstone, but they will continue a series in the Yellowstone universe as Rip and as Beth, and there'll be certain characters that will carry over into that series. I don't know. Like I said, they haven't decided if they're going to call it Yellowstone or call it something else, but the story with the Duttons will roll on. So we're good there.
Make that... Like, just call it like Rip and Beth in the City and just have it be a sitcom.
Not have
like a Three's Company style where they just joke and they get into funny situations and they figure it out at the end. Wouldn't that be good?
There's also a Yellowstone spinoff starring Michelle Pfeiffer called The Madison. And let me tell you something. Michelle Pfeiffer is a beautiful woman. And she appears to me like she has had no work done. I like Nicole Kidman, but she did a lot of shit to her face and it doesn't look real anymore. And look, to each their own. If a woman wants to get something injected in their face or whatever, that's their business.
Or
a man.
Anyone do whatever you want.
A man. You see men, whatever. But I have a tremendous amount of respect for a woman who just embraces her natural beauty, or a man that embraces his natural beauty. And Michelle Pfeiffer is one of the most beautiful women in the world. She's one of my favorite actresses of all time. And if she's signing on for this show, I will fucking watch from day one.
And what do you think it's about? I don't know. You still don't know what time frame it is.
Spinoff. I don't know nothing about it.
You read whatever you read.
I know that she's in it. It says the show, which was previously in development under the title 2024, follows a New York City family in the Madison River Valley of Central Montana. Per Paramount, the series is a heartfelt study of grief and human connection.
Oh. Grief. So it's 2024.
It's from the mind of Taylor Sheridan.
I like Yellowstone enough. I like some of this stuff, but have they gone too far with the universe?
1883 and 1923 were both fantastic. I'm waiting for 1923 to come back. There've been a lot of shit that they left undone.
Can you go too far with the universe?
Sure, but he hasn't got. For me, for some people, it already has happened.
Yeah.
But I thoroughly enjoy it. Like. We'll get into Landman here in a minute. But let's focus on Yellowstone and where they are right now. As we speak, this is Friday, heading into Sunday's finale of this fifth and, I guess, final season, whatever Yellowstone is right now. The last episode I was not a big fan of because they didn't accomplish much, and they had so much momentum with the storyline with Casey Dutton and his black ops and getting in the fucking backseat of that car.
After a little soccer game.
You remember that?
Yes.
And I'm not going to go into that too much, but that was one of the most powerful scenes of Yellowstone. That was awesome. And he fucking told that guy, you better watch your ass because I know where you are. I got your address. I got everything.
Counted coup on him.
Exactly right. With the help of Mo Brings Plenty. And so, look here. I'm all in on that. And then you got Jamie Dutton fucking scrambling because he knows that he's involved in this thing and he's going to get caught up in it. The gal got fucking whacked at the stoplight. So you got, was it Susan Atwell? Mm-hmm. She got popped. And so you got all this shit going on, and it's great. And then, is Casey going to, and I still think that his former Army buddy that he called for information, I think he was part of the team that killed John Dutton, and he's going to find that out. So, but who knows? And we've got a whole, series or season finale coming up. But, I thought they were going to follow up on that because I think that's a fascinating part of the story. But, this was they spent too much time with the auction. I'm glad that Beth took Teeter out for a drink. Yeah. That was fun.
Teeter did a nice job of really blending in.
Yeah. Well,
she's really good at that.
She was really good. And so, but I just did, not a whole lot was accomplished. And also, the other problem I have right now is I feel like they've neutered Rip. Rip hasn't whipped anyone's ass.
Yeah.
I wanted him to get involved in chasing down or hunting down whoever killed John Dutton. He's kind of been there.
It's a small complaint for me, but this is, Taylor Sheridan in his personal life is into the horses and all that stuff.
Right.
So I think sometimes he's just goes a little overboard.
He owns a 4 Sixes ranch.
He gets too into, let's show you what these cowboys do
in
selling horses and all that stuff.
Did you think he utilized his own character too much, Travis?
Yes, probably.
In the poker match with
strip poker
with Beth
and with the other, and I don't know this world. Okay, I don't know the horse cutting world, but I know that Tom Watson, one of the greatest golfers of all time, he was in the horse cutting world.
He loves it.
That's what he was doing. But I just don't see maybe this is the world where these guys are having strip poker parties and whatever, and they're I'm gonna go out there and,
as far as I'm concerned, it is,
and get my Mexican farm hands to bid $3 million for a horse to outbid the Brazilians. I guess, I don't know. It just seemed a little grandiose to me. I'm much more interested in what's going on with the Dutton family than the horse auction and when they show. Listen, Montana's beautiful, okay? But Central Texas, where they're running these horses around, that ain't all that pretty. I don't need to see all that. You give me the shots of them doing horse stuff in the mountains and everything, I'm all in. But that's a ugly part of the world where all this 4 Sixes ranch is. I don't need to see all that shit.
So right now we go into this last episode. I'm looking for Casey Dutton to just
handle business,
fucking blow this shit up and find out exactly who hands-on killed his dad. I'd like Rip to be involved. I don't know if that's going to happen. Casey has he's hatched some plan to be able to.
We need a resolution to
save.
Jamie.
Well, he's got to save the ranch. He's got to give the ranch away.
Right.
And that's going to be. I don't know. What does that mean? What's he going to
give the ranch to Jamie?
No. No.
Give the ranch to Rip, to Lloyd, maybe.
No.
Well, if this is really the final. See, if it's the final episode of the show, there needs to be a lot of resolution.
Chief Thomas Rainwater.
There needs to be...
And Mo Brings Plenty.
Resolution there. There needs to be resolution. You got to have a little 15 seconds of Jimmy. You got to have Lloyd. What's he going to have?
I didn't like the fact they killed off Colby.
Well...
What did he need to die for?
Drama.
No.
So Teeter could be sad and go out with Beth.
Right.
To the highfalutin bar.
So they've got to figure this out. Lloyd is going to stay on with Rip.
It's a lot to tie up.
Yeah, right. And so but I don't know how much they're going to tie up because now they know that they're moving on.
Yeah, but they've already written this and shot it.
But they knew that they were going to have a spinoff with
well, they have to tie a lot of finishing
Rip.
A TV series is one of the hardest things to do.
Yeah, no
it's
shit.
One thing. It's hard to
look how Game of Thrones fucked it up so bad.
To finish a movie, okay, but a movie's like hour and a half, 2.5 hours, or whatever. Finishing up. How many hours of Yellowstone have there been? 60, 70, something like that. Finishing up a television show and putting a bow on it and making people happy is damn near impossible. Very rarely are people happy at the end of a TV show. They just aren't. Because, like you mentioned, Game of Thrones. People didn't like how that ended.
Well, it's stupid.
You know? So, what if somehow Bran shows up
That's
here?
Stupid. That was one of the stupidest decisions ever in a TV show.
He just shows up at Yellowstone.
Make him the fucking king.
I'd put him on there.
That's ridiculous.
But, so it's hard to do. I expect there'll probably be disappointment.
But like there's more. It's more interesting to me. I know the auction and everything else, and you're right. Taylor Sheridan delves into that. But man, they just kind of ignored Jamie.
Yes.
And the follow up with Casey, and what's gonna, how they gonna resolve that?
That's what people watched this show about, was the family and their troubles and the things they did, and it's pretty to look at, but a little overboard on the horse.
And so, what's your prediction for the finale?
I don't know if Jamie's gonna die.
Train station.
I'm
throw his ass off that cliff.
I'm honestly scared for Casey. I think he's been dealing with some dangerous people.
See, they've only said that Beth and Rip
are going to be
moving on to the spinoff, and then they said in the release, and other characters from the series, and so
that's Lloyd,
right? But that there's going to have to be someone else that gets killed.
There will be death
in this episode, right?
Yeah, there's going to be death.
It might be. Maybe I can see them like Lloyd just dies there on the ranch.
I could see
happy.
Casey dying a hero. Like,
oh, that's gonna fucking suck, though.
I could see it happening. I hope not. He's been through a lot.
They better not fuck with Jimmy. Jimmy's gonna have a spinoff of the 4-6s.
There's gonna be a 4-6s show.
Yeah, I'll watch that too. That'd be great.
He's all in.
Into a man. I am all in on this. Okay, so that's Yellowstone. I think that. I don't know someone's going to die, but I just want them to spend more time on the Jamie, on the Black Ops,
yes,
on Casey. I want Rip to get involved. I want Beth to get drunk and slap more people. Enough of the auction. Enough of that, and make this give. I don't know how long it's going to be, an hour and 10 minutes or whatever.
Probably they're usually
give me some action. Give me some resolution there. Okay, so the other show that we've been watching that is also a product of Taylor Sheridan is Landman. And let me tell you something. I fucking love Landman. First of all, I'm a big Billy Bob Thornton fan. From the time I had him on the show back when I did a morning show on 97.3 The Planet, and he was awesome. Had a chance to meet him one time, and Susan, my wife, and I took pictures with him. He was gracious. He was cool. He was awesome.
When he was into to sing?
Yeah. I was at one of the big hotels downtown to do Challenger Fashion for the YMCA Challenger program. And then, so we're all dressed up, and we went into a bar, the hotel bar, and just to get a drink before we go in for the event. And I knew that Billy Bob Thornton's band was in town, and I fucking look over, and normally, without that knowledge, you think, what the fuck is Billy Bob? Is that Billy Bob Thornton? But I knew he was in town, and I go, holy shit, there's Billy Bob Thornton. And he's having drinks with a couple of people, right? And so I told Sue, and she loves him too. I said, we got to go over there. I mean, this is we got to walk over there
and say hello.
And nobody else is seeing him. He's kind of hidden away. No one else is recognizing him or whatever else. He's just sitting there, legs crossed, sitting up against the wall. And so I walk up there, and I don't want to be one of those fucking people that ruin it for him because he's having a nice time, he's having a drink, and I don't want this to turn into a circus for him, right? Because it could. And so I walked up to him. I said, Mr. Thornton, hey, I just want to tell you that last year I had you on my radio show to promote your concert, Knuckleheads, and I love the interview. Big fan of yours, and my wife's a big fan of yours. And I was just wondering if possibly she could get a picture with you. And he looks up and he goes, well, thank you. Why don't you come over here and sit right here and take a picture with me? And so she sits down, takes the picture, awesome picture, and that's it. Can I have a picture with you too? He goes, well, absolutely. And he's very seductive.
Yeah.
Very seductive.
Did he try to touch you?
No, he's looking at me in the eyes, and I'm captivated.
Did he get your swimsuit parts?
He could have.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck that says about me, but he had me. I think
you were hypnotized.
The ground. I was levitating. He caught my eye, and he looked at me, and he paused, And he said, well, thank you. Why don't you sit right here and take a picture with me? I'm like, sure.
Had you?
What else do you want me to do, Billy Bob Thornton? You could see. You know what? I'm just fucking telling you. You could see how you could just melt if you're a lady at the charms of Billy Bob Thornton.
Apparently, or a guy.
I fucking melted right there. If he'd have said, sit down and have a drink with me and be late to your event, then I'm late to the event.
Now, would that
he
have
didn't
been
say that. What?
Like a beer or a whiskey? Because that's a different drink.
Probably a whiskey. I'd like to have a whiskey with him.
I don't drink anymore.
But he hammers the Mick Ultras in Landman.
Let me have 6 of those.
But it was very nice.
Yeah.
I mean, just the way he talked, He goes, well, I appreciate you having me on your show. And, enjoy your evening. And I was like, God damn it.
Thank you.
Why can't I be that fucking, like, and he had like one, he had like a bandana on with a hat cocked to the side and just a bunch of jewelry and all those rings. And I go, how could you be this fucking cool?
He's just walking around being Billy Bob Thornton.
No, this is what I mean, though. How could someone, I wanted to, like, rub up against him and have someone rub off on me. He was the coolest fucking person I've ever met in real, it's like elbows or something.
One of the,
like he had Riz. Like, what was he called? What do kids call it?
Riz. He's got Riz.
You know what I mean? Have you ever been around? Like, he was the coolest person I've ever been around. So, like, you know what? I'll watch his work.
So I think one of the funniest. I've never laughed. Probably I don't want to say never. I laughed so fucking hard when we watched Bad Santa.
Oh, he's great. He's great.
That show is so awful, and probably couldn't be made today. But that thing is dark, and just awful and funny, and he's like the perfect guy to be the bad Santa in that fucking show. Sling Blade was great and all that stuff. He's a great actor. He's done a lot. I love the first season of Fargo. He's a great bad guy in the first season of Fargo.
He can do whatever.
And you know what? When they remade Bad News Bears, he was
good in that too.
Fucking hilarious. And I'm like, I don't think you need to remake Bad News Bears, but they remade it, and that also, even though they certainly couldn't say the exact same things that happened in the 1976 Bad News Bears, that one still had some stuff that probably wouldn't be said today.
I'm gonna tell you what else. So obviously, Sling Blade is when he busted out, right? Mm-hmm. Primary Colors is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, that's a good show.
And he played the kind of James Carville,
the operative, or
the operative for the Democrats, kind of leading the campaign. Fucking phenomenal in that. I loved him in that. Then and we're skipping over so many. He got a lot of pub for Monsters Ball and those scenes with Halle Berry. Yeah,
Halle Berry.
He had and you said Bad Santa. He had a very small role, but he was fucking great as the sleazy president in Love Actually, which is my favorite Christmas movie. Yeah. My favorite Christmas movie is Love Actually, because love actually is all around. All right?
It's not Bad Santa?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Love Actually. Then you go Friday Night Lights. He was great. Bad News Bears, like you said. You can just go on and on. He is one of my favorite actors. And so, in this new show,
Landman.
Also, I will tell you this: if you have not seen this, watch the show Goliath.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And he plays an alcoholic lawyer. Mm-hmm. That's a fantastic show.
It's on Prime, right?
Is it?
I think that's what it was.
Okay. And so Goliath, and I that comes with my highest recommendation. So Landman is one of my favorite shows out now. It's once again Taylor Sheridan, but you got Billy Bob Thornton who plays Tommy Norris, and he's an oil man, right? How would you describe? Someone said it's a cross between Yellowstone, There Will Be Blood, and Friday Night Lights.
About right. Yeah,
that's pretty good description, right? And you've got, and let me bitch about one thing real quick. You got Billy Bob Thornton. Ali Larter plays his ex-wife. You got John Hamm, who plays his boss. But here's my one fucking complaint. You got Demi Moore, who plays John Hamm's wife, who how many episodes were we up to? 5 or 6? Mm-hmm. She said maybe 4 words in this whole thing. Totally underutilized. What is going on here? They even promoted Demi Moore. She's not A-list anymore, but she's good.
Yeah.
And she's beautiful, and she's a good actress.
As big a movie star as there was for a while.
I'm thinking, oh, she's going to be good in this shit, because you do see a lot of actors and actresses that are normally in film
Oh, they're in these shows now.
Wanting to be in Taylor Sheridan, like the new spinoff with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
They want to do Taylor Sheridan TV shows. Sylvester Stallone, Tulsa King, Jeremy Renner in Mayor of Kingstown.
Yeah.
All these, and so John Hamm, she comes down to do this. She's not even the fucking show. What are you not using Demi Moore?
Maybe you should write this show.
No, I shouldn't, but I want to see more.
You know that world.
Get it? You want to see more. Anyway, I love this show. Do you love it?
Yeah, it's good. It's good, and that's the funny thing. I don't know how. I know. Listen, the ratings for Yellowstone are insane.
They should be.
How many people watch this show? Because it's not on network television. It's on AMC or Paramount. So it's not on, like, CBS should have that on freaking CBS. It gets so many more people watching it than watch anything that fucking CBS puts out. So they've struck something, but the ratings for the spinoffs aren't quite as good. It's always hard to kind of do that. They have struck a chord there, and they need to do more like that. It's kind of weird. It must be whatever they were paying for it or whatever. Why they have put it on CBS occasionally, but it should just be on CBS.
Everyone that I've recommended Landman to that have watched it, they love it.
Yeah,
and Billy Bob
Thornton's crap out there on these regular networks.
Right. I don't think I watch anything that's just on the regular networks. Everything I watch is streaming pretty much. I mean,
Yeah, there's the old. But I think you can just get away with more stuff. That's,
right.
If it's you can't. Sure. A lot of the stuff you couldn't show. Paramount Yellowstone would be a much different show if it were on regular CBS.
But like with Billy Bob Thornton and his wife, ex-wife, he fucking hates her, but he loves her.
Yeah.
And he knows they're terrible together, but they're getting back together. Yeah. But he knows it's not going to last because she's fucking really a horrible person, but he's still going to get back together with her.
That's how it goes.
And his crazy wild ass daughter, who keeps dancing around in her bikini in front of the old guy Nate that works for him, that offices out of their house. And he's begging Billy Bob Thornton,
probably
please.
Couldn't put that on CBS.
No, there's a lot of shit you can't put on there, right?
But the numbers on these shows are big. They had like 12 million people, and there'll be probably more than that on Sunday. These shows on network TV, nothing gets like that.
Do you like the actor that plays Billy Bob Thornton's son in Landman?
Yeah, he's all right.
Do you know him from somewhere?
I don't know. What's his...
Jacob Laughlin?
He's been in...
I don't know what he's been in. I like the attorney that they sent down to use him as a scapegoat, but then now she's kind of turned into... she likes Billy Bob Thornton, but she doesn't want to admit it. You can tell she's captivated by him. So I'm in on that. I like all this shit. I don't know how many episodes it's going to go. I've tried to look at it because I don't want to ruin it because then I start trying to count backwards to see what they got to try to wrap up in a certain amount of episodes. Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Thanks for telling me when I just said I don't want to fucking know.
Well, I'm just telling you.
I literally just I don't want to know how many episodes are on. You told me.
You put me on this fucking show.
Right. Well,
I like to know things. I'm the guy who also plays for you at Chiefs games.
That's ridiculous, by the way. What happens is that fucking when we're covering games in the press box, we'll be looking at the monitor and watching another game before the Chiefs game starts. And Leabo is very proud of the fact that he gets to play on his phone, on the play-by-play on his phone before it comes on the TV, on the television.
The problem
and I'm
is,
watching something in like it's third and 13.
It should be
and
better.
It's the Bills against the Rams.
It should be better at Arrowhead.
And right when I'm getting ready to watch a 3rd and 13 play, Leabo will say, "Oh, they got the first down." I don't fucking say that. I'm watching this play out. This is like football's drama to me. That'd be like you sitting next to me in the movie theater and something's happening. Oh, he gets killed right here. Like, don't do that. You do that the whole fucking game.
That kid was on Justified for several episodes.
Okay. But we're watching that. Do you not do that? You pulled that shit when the Royals were playing the Yankees in the playoffs, and I'm getting ready to watch Monday Night Football because they're covering Monday Night Football, and we're watching this, and you go, he gets a hit here. I go, why in the fuck would you tell me I'm watching this at bat?
It's fun.
It's part of the drama.
It's fun.
I'm watching sports.
Here's the problem, though.
What?
It should be better at Arrowhead.
Why
it should
isn't
not
it?
be that far behind.
Why isn't it?
It's fucking embarrassing that we sit up there and watch the Chiefs game, and the feed they give us in the press box is 30 seconds behind the game. 30 seconds.
The next play on the field is happening before we see the previous play that happened.
And that's when they're just giving us CBS or NBC or whatever. It is unacceptable that that's as close as they can get it.
You know what else is unacceptable?
The amount of food that was given to us.
Let me tell you something. People. This guy doesn't get real mad that often. He was so fucking mad because what Leabo likes to do, especially now that he eats right and lost all this weight and is all healthy and everything, He'll eat a reasonable meal when we get to the press box. But then what he does like to do, he likes to snack on delicious free popcorn.
Yes.
And he gets a big plate of the regular popcorn and the cheese popcorn. He don't want nothing to do with the caramel popcorn. And then after that plate, he might go get another plate. He might go get a third plate. Whatever he is, he's enjoying his popcorn. And this fucking guy had no popcorn. And you were visibly shaken by it.
It was unbelievable.
Do you think that they forgot that there was a game coming up? Or what happened because they ran out of food? They had no popcorn.
None.
And you know this, and this might get me in trouble, but sometimes I'll take a couple of granola bars for later. I can have out in the parking lot when I'm to treat. There were no granola bars.
It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
What do you think happened?
Someone in the supply chain messed it up. They got one opportunity left in the regular season. That's next
Saturday game against the Texans. We'll be there.
It better be better this time. Because I had sat there. This was Sunday night football. And I was like,
you want to impress people.
Well, and I was
the national
at home all day long, and I was like, here's the deal. You shouldn't eat late at night. You just shouldn't. It's not as good for you. You know what I mean? So
but food is more delicious late at night.
It is. So I was really good at home that day. Steven, here's the deal. I was going to have a little bowl of popcorn at home, the lesser evil popcorn that Jake turned me on to. And I was like, no, because I know I'm going to have popcorn at the game, which is not the healthy popcorn. And it was an hour and 40 minutes before the game. They had some caramel popcorn out and just fucking scraps of
regular
like caramel
popcorn, do you?
No, and the cheese fucking popcorn was non-existent. They normally have 3 big vats, and they just refilled it all day. And I go there, and I scoop some out, and I have my popcorn, and it was just like, and the lady's like, well, we don't have any popcorn. I said, well, there's no fucking popcorn. What do you mean?
Yeah.
There's no popcorn.
And I wasn't happy with the food selection, so we went down to a suite to visit some clients.
We have the ability to go around.
Right, because we have passes to get us anywhere within the stadium, but not on the field. And
anywhere with the field.
And usually I like to stay up. We like to stay up in the suite.
Because there's not a lot of time. There's not a lot of time at halftime.
Right.
You can't go anywhere.
But I had an important client visiting the game. I wanted to go see them.
We went down before the game.
And we went down before the game. And I usually have a this part of the podcast should be called Media Lardasses Complaining About Food.
Yeah, it's free food.
So I was a little bit shaken by the lack of food before the game and no popcorn.
They ran out of the beef.
So I'm thinking, I bet you they don't have hot dogs and chicken fingers at halftime like they normally do.
You don't know.
I didn't know.
Our worlds were upside down. We didn't know what to be prepared for.
We went to the suite, 810 suite, where I had to visit a client or two, and then they had a nice spread.
Mm-hmm. They did.
And they had some big ham and cheese sandwiches called ham and cheese walking sticks.
Pretzel buns.
And so with a real pretzel bun.
And lots of ham.
Not that fake bullshit.
Not 2 fucking slices.
Stacked,
hoagie
right?
style.
And 2 different kinds of cheeses.
Finally presented, cut in half, wrapped tightly. They looked
at
nice.
It, and I smuggled one out in my pocket.
You took one bite.
Yeah, I grabbed it, took a bite.
I'm putting this in my pocket.
I go, this is too hearty. I can't down this right now, so let me put this in the pocket for the second half. Because I don't think they're going to have hot dogs.
Then we stood and listened to the national anthem.
And we walked away. Yeah.
And you pulled this thing out of your pocket and showed it to Pete Sweeney in the press box.
Yeah.
And he was like, what the fuck?
And let me tell you something. That was a fucking good ham and cheese sandwich I had in the fourth quarter of that game between the Chiefs and the Chargers.
I'll credit this. At halftime, they had lots of hot dogs and chicken tenders out because they knew they'd fuck the pregame.
I didn't have one. And they kept the hot dogs and chicken fingers out of the fourth quarter. Yeah. They normally don't do that.
Yeah.
Normally they're gone by the end of the third quarter.
Well, here's the deal. Saturday the 21st. It better be better.
Surf and turf, baby.
No, I don't care about that. I just want popcorn.
You just want popcorn, but it would be nice to have a steak.
Sure, it would.
You know what would be nice? A taco bar.
Yeah, we had kind of a taco
last
bar
year
thing
we had
early in the year, I think.
Last year. Yeah. Not this year. There have been no tortillas this year.
None?
I asked for one game where tortillas are provided. Last year they had like fajita steak and chicken
it was tasty.
with tortillas, and that's good. That's a good fucking meal before the game. All right. So just to wrap it up, back what we were talking about, you're giving me one bold prediction for the Yellowstone finale this Sunday.
Somebody important dies. We're going to be sad about somebody.
Give me one
and that's
bold
not
prediction.
Jamie. You won't be sad if Jamie dies. I'm just worried about Casey. I'm worried for his life.
You think they'd fucking whack him out?
I hope not. But I didn't think they were going to kill John Dutton either. And they did.
Well, that was,
contractual.
Beyond their control.
Yeah. I'm worried for him. Because these black ops people are no one to fuck with.
Lloyd dies doing what he loves. Lloyd dies doing what he loves and that's working on the ranch.
Kicked in the head by a horse.
No, Lloyd just dies. They wait and he's there. He's just sitting there.
Just sitting there in a chair.
I don't know. Yeah, something he just dies.
I think Lloyd will be in the new show.
I'd like him to be in the new show, but I mean, I could see that, right? You know that Rip's going to be okay. You know Beth's going to be okay. I think we lose Lloyd. That would be tough.
They got a lot to stop. But here's my prediction. People will be disappointed because that's just the world.
But now that we know that there's a spinoff, that
Kinda
they
like
don't have
Chiefs
to wrap
fans
everything
being
up.
disappointed with wins.
Quit fucking bitching about winning. Don't get me started on that. Listen to me, Chiefs fans. Quit bitching about winning. Okay? Football gods will punish you. Quit bitching about winning. All right? You never complain about a win.
Dubs
That's all
or
I got to
dubs.
tell you.
Dubs or dubs.
All right? That's a nice, short episode, to the point.
And thank you for a noon Chiefs game. Unfettered Sunday night.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was rough being at the game.
Oh, last weekend. Oh, look at this guy. Look at this fucking guy. Come in here. Bring that in here on camera. Look at this. You got Jake Gutierrez walking in here just as we're done.
What's up?
What do you got?
Going on?
Oh, is that barbecue?
No,
Oh,
no.
it's you. I thought you had Joe's barbecue. I was going to
No,
fucking
no.
go crazy. What do you got?
Bone
Show us
broth?
your wares. Show the camera your wares and where they can get it.
Am I on camera? You
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
me?
Sure, right here. Get over here. There's the camera.
I got some chicken bone broth here.
What else?
It looks hearty.
It is. It is.
What else you got? Ginger shots?
Got some ginger shots.
Cayenne ginger shot. I take one every day.
Every day. Have you been sick this year?
Kind of.
Not really. The answer's no.
The answer's no.
Have you missed a day of work because
No. How about
No.
this? I ain't missed a day, not a fucking minute of work.
That's right.
He just
The
made a whole
ginger
bunch
shot.
of promises about he's going to do a bunch of podcasts, and this guy's off the last 2
Here I
weeks of
am.
the year.
Here I am.
You ain't
Look at
doing
that.
shit for
Look at that
podcasts.
gelatin.
Now, listen to
What
me.
is that?
Collagen. This is
Collagen.
beef.
Okay, where can people get that? Tell them.
KCHealthClub.com, KansasCityHealthClub.com. We got both. We got
Okay.
both URLs.
Now, listen. Come here right here.
Yeah.
We won't tell them what we did. One bold prediction for the Yellowstone finale on Sunday.
Jamie gets killed.
Okay, so here we
Is
go.
that bold?
Who
Not
does
bold,
it?
kinda. Who does? Who whacks him out? Does Casey? Or does Rip?
Beth.
Or is it in his own hand?
Ooh.
Ooh, that's interesting. I'm going to say Beth.
She wants to kill him.
Yes.
As much as
You'd like-
anybody.
You'd like to let her have that satisfaction, wouldn't you?
I'm going to say Beth tries to and can't, and Rip finishes the job.
I don't know if you know this, but they've already officially got the deal done. There's going to be a spinoff with Beth and Rip, so they're safe. But they said
safe.
other characters will appear, but we don't know what else. And so
Casey's right off. He's done.
he's know what?
I'm worried for Casey.
What's your prediction?
I didn't say he was going to die, but I'm scared for him.
He's
I think he's
Casey's
in
gonna
danger.
get whacked.
No.
Okay.
He's safe.
And my bold prediction, and I don't want it to be true. I'm just trying to think of something a little outside the box, and I just feel like there was a little bit of this leading up to it. My bold prediction was Lloyd dies working there at the ranch. What he loves. Remember what he said? He's been there 40-some
life,
years.
yeah.
That's all he's ever wanted to do. And we're just say goodbye to Lloyd. And he just dies.
I think
dies.
here's a bold prediction. I think Lloyd takes the fall for Jamie's murder.
Oh.
Save Rip.
Oh,
There you
wow.
go.
Smoking gun.
Wow.
Who did it?
Do
Lloyd
it for
says,
Rip.
I did it. And he goes away for Rip.
Done.
Damn.
A lot to think about.
That is a lot to think. KCHealthClub.com.
Water too.
I've been drinking, yeah. KCHealthClub.com.
Bye.
Got a lot of shit going on. Thanks to Ben Messner for putting this together. Jake Gutierrez, Todd Leabo, Steven St. John. We're working on some other stuff coming up. Just watch your mouth. That's all I'm saying. If you want to be on this podcast, if you think it's compelling, email me. If you want to sponsor it, email me. You're just going to go fucking hang out these holidays. Email me, all right? Steven St. John at 810WHB.com. Until the next episode, the microphone is off.